is Monday morning and I just woke up. Like I woke up a little while ago, but feels like I just woke up the way that I'm feeling. We're going to have a week of reading. I have a few things this week that I have to do in terms of like orientations, and I need to finish writing up my syllabus, which I'm kind of like, I'm feeling a little bit lost ahead of the semester, just feeling like I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing in the sense of like, I could draw up a syllabus and have done so entirely of my own brain and like taught that. But there are like, every institution has its own guidelines of like what they expect from their instructors and what they want their curriculum to be doing. And I've been feeling like a little bit lost in so far as like I've had so many resources just kind of thrown at me, and I get really overwhelmed, and I've been trying to like narrow down what I'm going to abide by basically in creating my syllabus. But thankfully there's an orientation tomorrow that I'm going to be going to, which I'm really glad about. I actually love just like when I had the orientation for my like school, when I was learning how to like teach the course, there's a lot of it that like I can kind of figure out myself, but I still like being in that place in case there are things that I haven't like paid attention to or noticed or whatever. And so for this one too, especially, like I'm glad that we're gonna be getting like some sort of a direction from the people. That's tomorrow. Today I'm gonna probably try to spend most of my time working on the syllabus, but I'm gonna go out because I've noticed that the days that I just stay in all day, especially when I'm not working and I kind of have like nothing like work or study wise going on, I get really like agitated and like I don't know like how to explain it. I just get very like down. It's probably because I'm like isolated in the house, and then my brain starts like being mean to me. So I'm gonna go out today. I got these like egg bites from Costco, and I kind of just eat one of these every day. Well, two of them. Each pack has like 2 in it, and it's like a really good breakfast item because I don't like skipping breakfast. So I'm gonna eat this. I usually watch a YouTube video while I'm doing that. So I have like 20 to 30 minutes of just sitting down eating my breakfast. I really like having like a slow morning. I don't like feeling like I'm rushing, especially in the morning, because that just sets me up for being like, again, on edge and agitated for the rest of the day. So we're gonna have our breakfast, watch our video. I don't know what I'm watching yet. I'm just gonna go see what's on YouTube, and then I'm gonna get dressed really quickly. I already am wearing my outside pants, but I haven't put on my shirt yet that I want to wear. Maybe a little bit of makeup, and then we will head out for the day, which really is just gonna be one location. I'm gonna go to a new coffee shop. One thing about moving is the one of the fun parts about moving is that like you have an excuse to like explore more and go to different coffee shops, because when I was in Massachusetts, after a while I was like, okay, well, I know all my favorite spots and I don't really care to explore, but I haven't really found a favorite spot yet. So I'm still like exploring. So I haven't really been buying like coffee materials at home, so that I can like, if I'm gonna be spending money on coffee, then I'll just spend money on coffee outside. I didn't bring my coffee maker with me because by that point it was like 6 years old. So I was just like, maybe it's time to upgrade, but I gotta work and make money before I invest in any sort of coffee machine. So that's where we're at right now. In terms of like reading updates, this is kind of from like the last few days, but I finished The Painted Room last night, and it was really interesting little novel, very, very short. I honestly just picked it up on a whim, and I'm glad that I did, and I'm glad that I read it all. I really love the idea of also picking up books that like I haven't heard about online or from anyone in particular. And I found that book at Brazos bookstore in their little like section for women in translation. So apparently the writer is Danish and wrote a story having to do with certain like Italian paintings, and I couldn't find that much information on it. Like I know what happens in the story, but I couldn't find information on like, is it historical fiction? Is it in part based on fact? Like I really couldn't tell. So I still need to do some research on that because I'm really fascinated by this whole idea of like centering these 3 separate paintings. I'll show you the book later, maybe in my reading wrap up later this month. But this each section, because the novel is in 3 different parts, each section is it started with like an image, and then you get a diary and you get a series of diary entries from Marsilio, and then you get like a 3rd person POV book section on Nana, who is the daughter of Ludovicio. If I don't, or like that was also like really confusing, the family tree stuff. Like this is definitely a book that I feel like I would have to reread. And then the 3rd part is from the POV of the painter's son, so he's like a little child, and that gets very like fantastical and kind of like otherworldly, because the first 2 sections are very centered and like very grounded in like reality as it exists in the book. There's no like magic or anything like that beyond like rumors and stuff that people say, which I'm not gonna get into right now. So I thought it was really interesting. Definitely something that I would need to reread, but I liked it. Had a lot of commentary on like religion and God and art and life and death, like mortality and stuff like that. So I really liked it. I highlighted certain quotes. That's the other thing, is like I love having physical copies of my books, and if I'm gonna buy physical copies of my books, I want to actually use them. So I am like kind of pushing myself to highlight more, even if it's like a brand new book, because I feel like there's no point having a brand new book or buying a book if I'm not going to engage with it somehow. Because over the last year, most of the time I mainly buy books that I've already read, which is nice for being on the shelf and stuff. I love displaying what I've read and whatnot. But I also want to like actually use the book, if that makes sense. That was a lot of yapping, but welcome to this video, welcome to the vlog, and let's just spend a week together. I finished putting on my makeup and dressing up. I didn't really dress up, but like dressing. I just have to put this little lip gloss, lip oil on, and then we're gonna head out. I don't know how to balance out having like a dewy look with looking sweaty. So I always worry that when it's like dewy, it actually looks sweaty. So I don't know. Okay. Last step. I started doing lash lifts and stuff. A few years ago, and then because I did that, I got out of the habit of putting on mascara and like curling my lashes. I actually threw away all my lash curlers because like for literally like 2-3 years I was getting lash lifts, but now that I'm here I don't know anyone, and I still like I don't know, I haven't gotten around to like searching for anyone who does it. So for now, I got a lash curler, but I didn't use it yet. Anyways, let's go out. Couldn't talk because I was on the phone with my friend the whole time, but the matcha was so good in that place. I spent the whole day working on my syllabus and like fixing it up and basically choosing readings and trying to figure out like what I'm gonna do in every single classroom. The thing that's kind of stressful slash like harder with this one is that like I have to have everything ready right off the bat, but I feel like I've been given not a lot of things to draw on to like know what's okay, what's not. Even in terms of like the readings and stuff I'm gonna assign. When I was in Massachusetts, it was obviously a blue state and obviously way more liberal and so easier to teach at. And like the students are way more open-minded. I mean, obviously I'm making an assumption, so maybe the students here are also open-minded. I'm making huge generalizations. And also at the same time, like I think I felt more comfortable jumping into teaching there because I was like, okay, I'm allowed or safe to talk about XYZ topics. Not that I'm gonna shy away from certain topics. And when I say certain topics, I just mean like, it's not even taboo, but like political topics of any kind. I'm not super familiar with like the laws, but I know that Texas has been trying to ban books in schools. And then also like, I don't know what the student population is going to be like. I don't know if they're going to be very like argumentative with me, like try to argue with me, even though I try not to share my own opinions of like anything when I'm in a class. I actually like try to facilitate the students discussing it themselves. And if I feel or if I see them like leaning more towards one argument or the other, I'll try to balance it out, just because I think like one of my like teaching philosophies, if you will, is the idea of engagement with all sides of an argument, quote, debate, idea. I'm kind of out of breath, but it's literally because I'm anxious. Like whenever I'm anxious, I feel like my breaths are shorter. But anyways, I just don't know what to expect and I'm nervous, but I'm hoping that, I don't know. I just emailed my mentor because I was finally assigned a mentor today, which I'm so relieved about. I just emailed her to ask like, hey, like, am I allowed to sign anything about anything? It's less of a matter of my discomfort and more of a matter of like, if they tell me straight up, like, you're not allowed to talk about XYZ or else you're gonna get fired or something like that, that's then something I have to like take a step back, kind of reevaluate what I'm going to be teaching, how I'm going to be teaching. It'll be really hard if they tell me that though, because like I am so passionate about getting students to talk about hard things, slash like getting to them to reevaluate their beliefs and their ideas about things in like a safe environment. And not because I want to change their minds. I don't want to change their minds. It has nothing to do with that. But I want them to learn critical thinking and analysis. And part of that is engaging with ideas and beliefs either you have no knowledge about, or engaging with them with beliefs and ideologies that you have in a different way and through a different lens. I'm probably also feeling kind of overwhelmed because I spent like hours, legitimately hours working on my syllabus today. And I just am thinking to myself about like how this semester is gonna go and whatnot. I think that's all, like that's where I'm at right now. In terms of reading, I feel like I keep giving life updates or week updates and then reading updates, but I haven't been reading too much. This is one of those times in my life where I need like a good brain off book. And I know some people, this is really surprising to me, but I heard recently that there are people who have who take issue with brain off books, or like the concept of turning your brain off. But I have things to say about that, but I'm not going to say them here because my brain's fried right now. What I will say briefly is that I think that it's like there comes a point where there is simply literature that does not engage your intellect at all, like as like the content of the book itself. If you want to take a step back and evaluate that book on certain metrics of like how intellectual is, whatever, that's like fine, turn your brain on and evaluate it. But like if it's a very smutty book that has very little plot, then like what are you gonna evaluate with regards to the actual content of the book? I don't know if that makes sense. I'm all for, like, that is literally why I read, is to evaluate the book and the characters and their actions and the events. But at the same time, like, if I want to turn my brain off and not think about what I'm reading beyond just what's happening in it, I feel like that's fine. Like if anyone wants to do that, you know what I mean? And so I don't know if I said which book I'm reading right now. I'm listening to Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, which is like the biggest brain rot I've been listening to. It's so crazy because I'm pretty sure there was a point in time, I don't know if I ever said it online, but there was a point in time in my life where I was like, I'm not gonna read Deep End, like hell no. Because I found out a little bit of what it's about and then I was like, this is crazy. But here I am. I was literally scrolling on Spotify because I have like the hours every month and I was like, what am I going to use them for? And I decided to just pick it up because I couldn't think of anything else that I wanted to read. Enjoying it insofar as like it's just nice to put on while I'm doing chores and stuff around the house. So that's what I'm reading. Oh, I also want to talk about this. I went to book club last night for the very first time and it was so fun. I honestly like I've been feeling really down. I don't know if it comes through in my videos all the time because I try to record when I'm feeling a little bit more stabilized. I don't know if you can hear the plane. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I try to only record when I'm feeling okay. And because I think like, at least the way that I am, I've been told that it's very obvious if I'm not okay. And so I try to limit my like recording and stuff to when I'm like at least stable enough to like talk through something. And since I've moved, I've been struggling, like straight up. I will admit this, not to complain or anything like that, but like I have been struggling and I moved for like work reasons, mostly job reasons, financial reasons. It's been work trying to get myself to enjoy being here, especially for like literally reasons tied to even what I was just talking about with like teaching and stuff. It's hard to feel safe in like a very conservative state, and maybe again I'm probably generalizing a lot, but at the same time like you can only make assumptions based off of what you have, information you have, and I'm making assumptions based off of like the map, you know what I mean? And also like I lived here, I grew up here, I have bad memories from growing up here. And it's been an adjustment, and I say all this to lead into a positive thing, which is that last night, yesterday afternoon, I went to a book club that one of the bookstores that I frequent. It was a really great experience. I left it feeling so much better than I have in probably since I got here. It's because there were so many people, a diverse group of people, like all kinds of people just there discussing like a really great book that I had read a few months ago, Human Acts by Hong Kong. Sorry, I keep cracking my knuckles. I hope that's not annoying. They were discussing it with such care and attention. And so it really just, it was a breath of fresh air for me because I don't know, I was so scared that I would feel super isolated, or I would feel like I couldn't find people who are similar to me, have like similar hobbies and all that. And it really just got me to a place where I was like, whoa, like I in fact am seeing people who are very different from myself and yet share that love of reading and like the love of paying attention, like even more than I do. Like it was incredible. Like people were asking about like the most detailed things and scenes in the book that even I had not paid a lot of attention to. So it's also encouraging me to highlight and stuff and like make notes on what I've been reading. I actually bought Lady Chatterley's Lover. That's for the romance book club, so I don't know exactly how in depth they do that one, but I was really excited about them because I think it's like more of a classic novel, like at least it's an older novel. So I'm planning on like highlighting and making notes, and then we're also going to be reading another Han Kang book, which apparently it's Han Kang unless I'm wrong, but I always thought it was Hong Kong, so I don't know. But I should actually double check that. I will double check that. But we're gonna read another book by her. And then I actually had seen that they read The Vegetarian for the previous book club, and I really want to read this one, especially because it was a comp title for The Eyes Are the Best Part. So I bought it like actually a little while ago, and I'm planning on reading it and analyzing it, even though like that part of the book club has gone past. I'm like really excited. Feeling a lot better today compared to Even the last 2 weeks have been kind of rough, but thankfully I'm better today. We'll see what happens with teaching. It's like a countdown at this point to when I teach. So we'll see what happens with that. We're getting a lot of bathroom updates, which is annoying, but I'm trying to get used to just recording instead of always feeling like it has to be perfect and everything has to be perfect and I have to be ready. Anyway, I got this shirt from Uniqlo. It's Studio Ghibli and The Boy and the Heron, which is one of my favorite movies, even though it's like very recent. My favorite movie from the whole thing is Ponyo. But anyway, and this is what the back looks like. Okay, I don't know if I should keep it. That's why the tag's still on. I don't know if you saw the tag. The tag is still on because I like it, but I also feel like it's very simple, and I just don't know. Thoughts? I'm gonna take it off. I was just trying it on. I'm not gonna wear it out until I decide if I want to keep it or not. The thing with white is that like it gets dirty so fast too. Anyway, I'm gonna go change my shirt into something I actually am gonna wear today. And then I need to wash my face, put on makeup. I have to go update my Texas driver's license today. So that's fun. That's where we're at right now. Black scarf because I feel like it'll look the best in a driver's license picture. My last one was really nice. I actually really loved my last driver's license picture. Kind of bummed out that I'm gonna have to surrender the license, but hopefully this one ends up looking nice. Pretty sure the Texas driver's license are super ugly too. I'm being very negative right now, but anyway, I'm gonna wash my face, put on my makeup, might check in with you guys before I head out. Okay. I can't do it because I'm waiting on one more document which needs to be mailed to me, which is really upsetting and disappointing because I just hate doing things like this. Like I hate stuff like this. I know that's like a universal feeling. So as you can probably tell, I am very, very upset right now. Just because like I feel like half of my day, the thing with me, and I know this is a me problem and it's not anyone else's problem or fault, but if I have something like pretty big scheduled in my day, especially if it's in the middle of the day, which in my head is between like 10 or 11 up until like 2 or 3, my whole morning is basically gone to mentally preparing for it, actually preparing for it, anything like that. It's literally like 1 p.m. right now and I didn't get to read. I didn't get to do anything that I wanted to do. I'm also upset because I feel like my makeup turned out pretty good in preparation for the picture, but obviously they didn't take it. And I'm just frustrated. So I'm just waiting for this feeling of just like utter defeat and frustration to leave my body and my brain because it's getting really hard to cope. So anyway, I found a plant store. I'm gonna go there, check it out because I'm trying to find a monstera to replace the one that died during the moving process. So let's go together. Hopefully plants will make me feel better. Finally time for the writing club that's a little bit closer to me. It's still kind of far, but it's gonna be my first time. I don't really know what to expect. I thought it was at 6:30, but it's actually at 6. So I'm gonna head out the house in a little bit and hopefully it'll be fun and I can meet writers and I can, we'll see what happens. I don't really have that many expectations. I don't know what to expect, but like in a good way. I'm open to whatever's gonna happen, so let's go. want you to see the shadow of my phone. That's actually kind of funny. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I have guests over and they're being kind of loud and there's nothing I can do to stop them from being loud. So I'm just gonna let them do their thing and hopefully you can still hear me. I am using the microphone because of that. I'm just here to end the vlog. I started teaching this week and it actually went really well. So that's the last update I'll give you guys for this couple weeks. It's actually, I think the vlog's been a week and a half. I am feeling generally better than I have been. So that's a relief. I still have like days where I struggle. I think I cut my nail while I was cutting the food earlier. Unfortunate. But I still have days when it's like hard and stuff. But I've been taking myself out a lot. Just going different places and experimenting with different places and seeing like where I like versus where I don't like. The sun's in my eyes. I cannot see. Thank you for watching and being here with me. And thank you for listening to me kind of complaining sometimes. I don't view it as complaining as much as it is just like sharing my thoughts in the moment. But I do think that like some people might take it as complaining and I don't want it to come off that way because I think like moving is just like I'm trying to hide from the sun. But yeah, I think moving is just really difficult regardless of where you go. And like for me specifically, the state is just hard to reacclimate to. Hopefully things will go well and I'll be able to adjust and it'll be fine. Everybody is being loud and I'm just going to close it off now. But anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And hopefully I'll see you in another video very soon. Goodbye.